Yo, So Sick Nash fan back, and I am excited to cover the man Wolfgang Krauser today. And man, we got a huge update. Damn, like it's really looking good for City of the Wolves and the future of City of the Wolves in general. But let's talk about this character right here. He is probably one of the most unique characters they added because of like his game plan versus other characters. Specifically, this character is going to be a super monster because when you do his super, if you charge it, he automatically revs up the opponent. So I can see him having a lot of like overheat setups. I can see him being one of those type of characters, which is very unique because nobody really plays that style like Krauser is going to be playing that style. He is a little bit on the slower side, if I have to say so, because like he has his far jab is like 7, his crouching A is 6, stand B is 7, crouch B is actually pretty fast at 5, and his close A is actually 4. So you know, like most characters have a close A that's 4 and plus, so that's good. His C normal, his far C is 10, crouch C is 9, up close it's 7, and of course you can feign it for some plus frames. That was plus 1. The crouching C is actually 0, and his far C is 0, but he has a stand D that's also plus 3. So he has some plus frames here and there. It's just mostly his normals are very slow, because if I do this, I'm only like plus 3. So in order to actually frame trap, if I do a 9 frame, as you know, that's only gonna frame trap a 6 frame. So you would still get mashed out. So you're gonna have to like default back to like light moves to like frame trap somebody for like trying to mash against you. So that's one of his weaknesses I already see like right now, is like he's a bit slow, but he has a lot of good strengths. So I wouldn't really harp on the slowness of the character, because if he was actually fast, I think he might actually be kind of shattered. I'm not gonna lie. So command normal wise, he does have an overhead -6 on block, but we are going to do it on hit, and it's +6, so he will be able to do like a confirm like that, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's definitely solid. But his far A is not special cancel, by the way. So when you do this, you have to super off of far A. You're not going to be able to do like, you know, a knee or something. So just keep that in mind. You have to do that. Something really light. Like his combo game, that's another thing about him. He doesn't really have crazy combos. So some of the things I'm gonna show you is just what I found out thus far, and you could try to experiment more. But his combo game is very simple and straight to the point. His other command normal is his forward C. Like 6C is this punch, and this is actually really good because like let's say Terry whiffs out here. Like, look at how far this punch goes, bro. Like, what? So he can combo you all the way out there and then get a hard knockdown. By the way, this is a hard knockdown. So he did come with hard knockdowns, just like Geese and just like Blue Mary. Shoutouts to Jaehoon, still not having that hard knockdown. So with Krauser, like his buttons are actually kind of ridiculous for whiff punishment. I will say that like he has a lot of really good buttons. So you're not about to be whiffing on this man. This man will cook you for whiffing. His wild punishment game is very strong and very scary. So I would say that is a plus and a bonus that he has long reach and pokes that he can hit you for doing silliness right outside of his range. So that's really good. So yeah, let's talk about his special moves. So he has Blitz Ball. Blitz Ball is a very unique fireball because he has like a higher arc version and a lower arc version. So that is not a low, you can block it standing or crouching, but the arc of it is lower. So it's like kind of like, it reminds me of like an NRS type fireball, which is really cool. So he can zone you very well, but there's something unique about this. So I'm gonna make Terry shoot this fireball, right? I shoot this and you know, they clash, right? However, this character can charge his Blitz Ball, and when he charges it, it just keeps traveling forward, which is crazy because if Terry shoots a fireball, and I charge it, boom, boom, and I hit him. It's just gonna keep traveling, which is very strong, especially in a neutral game that you know you're gonna be fighting characters like Terry, like Rock, like COTW that are gonna shoot those fireballs, and Krauser is the first meta character that's gonna be able to just shut that down. That's why I think he's definitely going to be picked at some level, even if it's like the highest level or the lowest level, because you actually cannot zone this character at all, because he's gonna have one of the best fireballs in the game to deal with that. Now let's say Terry wants to do this, the dreaded fireball, the EX fireball, run behind it and play crazy. Well, guess what? Krauser can also just charge that one and it just keeps going forward. So that is a very, very powerful maneuver. I think his fireball is definitely the best in the game just based off of that. Now I'm going to make him block. EX fireball up close is actually +2, so he can at least take his turn back. That's going to be really strong. The other ones are way more minus, but the fact that he does have a plus EX is like really good, because you can just try to like hit them if they try to mash out. So yeah, his fireball is definitely on some S tier vibes. I think his fireball is really good. Okay, so he's gonna have this knee attack. Now the knee attack, like, you can actually break it before it makes contact, even up close. So if I do, I can like fake it out and like go for a gimmick or a trick, right? I wouldn't be doing that, but it is an option. This is generally going to be a combo filler. I'm not gonna hold you, especially like the EX version, same thing, combo filler. Now it is -3, like the EX version isn't too bad on block. Heavy version is -5. Light version is also -5. But you're gonna generally use this in combos, and I'll show you something I've been doing. That's basically the combo I've been doing. So when the knee actually hits, if you press forward or back and you press the kick button again, he'll do a little follow-up like that. Now with this, you could do it on block, but it's death on block. It's -7, so you wouldn't really want to be doing this on block. And he could do that on block as well, but same thing, -7, so you wouldn't really want to be doing that too much on block. So look at that as more like your combo filler. That's going to be a combo filler. Okay, he's going to have the leg tomahawk, which gives me vibes of like crack shoot. So leg tomahawk, light version -2. Now it does go over fireballs like that, boom, for a +7 wild punish. Heavy version, same thing, but goes further. So it's really good to close that gap against your opponent, because it does go over fireballs. I think that that's really, really powerful. And if you make him block, the heavy version, the D version, is actually +2. So that's very, very powerful. You can take your turn back, boom, boom. If they press a button, they will get counter hit into super. So that's good. And this is standing. Let's look at crouching. Crouching is +3. So even more advantage to play around with if your opponent is crouching or standing. So you're going to kind of want to confirm when you do it whether they were crouching and standing, depending on what button you would want to press. And the EX version, like I said, +2, you can take your turn back. So that's just going to be good. It's just going to be a good move to kind of throw out to get in on your opponent. Or if you feel like your opponent might like try to move, jump, you know, up, back dash, stuff like that. You know, you'll hit them with that and you'll get a knockdown and you can go from there. Then he is going to have this anti-air grab. This is really, really good, because if you remember, Blue Mary came into this game, right, where you could not jump against her, right? So I'm going to make him just defend. Boom, you know, boom, boom. Okay, but what about this not being just defendable because it counts as a throw? So when somebody jumps at you, you are going to be able to snatch your opponent out of the air every single time with a hard knockdown, get some Oki or whatever. And if you use the EX version, of course, you can get a mini little combo. I think this is very powerful because you're not going to be able to jump at him, and it's only the heavy and the EX version that's going to have that like air invul. Like if somebody jumps at you with a button, if you try light, you're going to get hit. But if you try the heavier version or the EX version, you won't. So I'm going to demo this. I'm going to use light. I got counter hit, right? Now I'm going to use heavy. You see how I just ate his button? You see how I just went through him that time? That just shows you the invul. Right back into a hard knockdown. Or you could super, like I said. So, just like that. So the fact that you cannot jump at this character is actually insane. He's going to be able to control the ground and the air, because if you jump at him, you're cooked. And he does have a JD. You know, in my guides, I don't cover too much of their air normals too much, but I have to talk about this button because it does aerial juggle. Like if somebody jumps at you, boom, and then you get an aerial juggle off of that. And that's also strong because anytime you feel like somebody's going to try to like jump out of your pressure, you can just air juggle them. So why does this man have these tools? I do not know. But if you're a Krauser, man, you are going to be super happy because your opponent is not going to be able to leave the ground at all. And then, of course, this character does come with a command grab. Why wouldn't he, right? So he does come with a command grab. It is very slow. As you see, 22 frame startup is actually insane. And for the heavier version, it's 27. Cool thing about the heavy version, it does have some armor on it. So it has like the guard point. So if somebody tries to swing, so I'll try to make Terry do this. And you see how I just like ate through his jabs and grabbed him. So it does have a couple guard point frames. So if you feel like somebody's gonna wake up Mash and you do like a meaty armored command grab, that would be a very, very good option to do, because you can just, you know, scoop them up and get Oki. Because guess what? Same thing. It is a throw, meaning it is a hard knockdown. So that's gonna be very, very powerful to him. And same with like the EX version. You can get a hard knockdown right there. Or you could just get a mini little combo off of his command grab if you want to, you know, get a little bit more damage and you do not want to take that hard knockdown. So overall, Wolfgang's, all of his special moves are really good, and they have his their usages. You just kind of have to know when to use them. But like, the most powerful thing about him is the fact that you're not going to be able to jump at him, and he's going to get a lot of hard knockdowns to set you up. So I think that that's really, really strong. Now I would like to talk about his supers. Now this is going to be probably the most important part of this guide, because his punch super, as you see, he has kind of vibes. What I think about is Marco, like how Marco can snipe you like from full screen. So if y'all are fighting and you super, you can snipe your opponent from full screen, right? That is a wild punish. So you can do that on reaction. He has a 10 frame super. But there's also something else about this move. So first and foremost, I am going to make the opponent just defend. Of course, you know, if you just defend, you take no rev damage, anything at all. However, he can charge this bad boy into a guaranteed 70% rev on you, which is going to be the way I think you have to structure his game plan, is to try to overheat you, like I said earlier in this video. Now, same thing. Like, if my opponent tries to just defend, they're going to get cooked up to 70%. But if I do this, it's an auto 100. So no matter what, you are going to have to take it in some situations. What situations, you may add? If I do this, that is a guaranteed situation. To my knowledge, until I see somebody counter that situation, I believe that is guaranteed, unless you have a super that is going to pass through that fireball. You're cooked. Because he's at a distance pretty far away from you, unless you have an invul super that goes for like a rock, like something like that, where rock can, you know, do his, you know, level 2 on wake up, or Terry's if it could reach, something like that. Against a lot of the cast, that is going to be a guaranteed situation. So he's going to have a lot of situations where he knocks you back and even gets at this distance, charges it off of a hard knockdown and gets that. Sometimes it's better to take the hit and not get put to 70 or 100%, because then he could try to guard break you. So I think that that's going to be, you know, one of the most powerful supers in the entire game, and how you use it is going to be like super important, because at the same time, same thing, his other super does the exact same thing. So yeah, that super is gonna be how you're gonna win some matches with Krauser for sure. His other super is this like cyclone grab. It is invul, so that's gonna be your main way to wake up off the ground, because he doesn't have like a, you know, a traditional uppercut or anything. So his only way off the ground is gonna be super. It's gonna be that kick super, and you can basically combo that the same way off of everything. And then same thing, I can set this up, boom, and you are cooked. You're gonna have to take that. So that's like really, really powerful. And same thing with his other super. Damn, that's a cool super. That's a really, really cool super. SAK actually cooked with that one. I like that. So yeah, like, man, this character, he has a lot of good things going for him, and I can't really wait to see what people come up with this character for sure, because this character has a lot of grimy stuff, and I just know that the general population, once they play a bit more with him, are gonna cook up some crazy stuff. And I'll show you his red blow. It's not the best red blow. It doesn't go too far. It's not like it goes all the way full screen, so that's not the best. But his aerial one, it can go behind the opponent, so you have to like kind of like space it where it hits and just goes straight down. So it's gonna be a distancing thing. And of course, I know what y'all want to see. Y'all want to see that young hidden gear. Yo, this is my favorite part, for real, for real. Because he kind of popped off right here. Damn, that's fire. And yeah, I mean, this is Krauser in a nutshell, chat. I think that this character is definitely going to be somewhat in the meta. I don't know how popular he's going to be, but I definitely think he'll be somewhere in the meta, just based off the way his fireballs work, his hard knockdowns work, and anti-air game works, and the fact that he can like overheat his opponent. I think that is super duper powerful. Man, thank y'all so much for watching this guide. Thank you so much, SNK, for updating the game, giving us this character, all the new UI stuff. Man, this game, the future is looking bright. The future is looking bright. Until next time, peeps. Peace.